Utah County now, we have an update on the 4-year-old girl sent to the hospital after a wreck caused by cars racing along I-15. ABC4's Annika Johns joins us live from near the site of that crash after speaking to the Utah Highway Patrol. Annika, what can you tell us about that little girl's condition tonight?
Well, while she was originally sent to the hospital in serious condition, UHP now says that her injuries are not life-threatening and she currently is in stable condition. However, they do say while this incident did turn out relatively well, they say that won't always be the case.
I think the biggest thing to take away from this is that we're, as adults, being the example for our children.
Just before 7 p.m. Saturday evening, 2 red cars were seen speeding along southbound I-15 near mile marker 265 in Provo.
2 vehicles were traveling at a high rate of speed and suspected to be racing on I-15 when one of the vehicles lost control and crashed into the right concrete barrier and then into the left concrete barrier.
The 2 vehicles involved, now identified as a Dodge Charger and a Subaru WRX, were the ones racing. Inside the Subaru, officials say, were 2 adults and a 4-year-old girl who, at the time of the crash, was unrestrained and didn't have a seatbelt on.
She suffered serious injuries, but is in now stable condition.
Today, the Utah Department of Public Safety released an update saying the driver of the Subaru was a male unrelated to the child, but was the boyfriend of her mother, who was the 3rd occupant in the car. The driver was arrested on outstanding warrants and booked into the Utah County Jail and is awaiting charges for the racing incident.
The Dodge Charger presumed its same speed and continued on I-15 southbound. Luckily, a Good Samaritan called in with dash camera and charges are being screened on him.
When speaking to UHP, they say while street racing hasn't been common in the past, they've recently seen an increase in this type of reckless driving.
I think a lot of people are street racing thinking that it's fun, but they're not taking into effect the safety of others on the road.
Freckleton continues emphasizing the importance of 1, driving safely, and 2, making sure everyone in your vehicle is wearing their seatbelts.
Speed limit on I-15 in this area is 70 miles per hour. They were street racing in it at a pretty high rate of speed that we suspect, and she wasn't wearing her seatbelt, so I imagine the impact was pretty hard. We've seen serious injury up to death in this type of situation.
Now, Sergeant Freckleton continues saying while this is constantly rehashed and said by UHP, he says that if you see something, to say something. All it takes is one wrong move for someone and someone's life could be on the line. So he says, again, if you see anything, to report it to your local authorities. Reporting live from Provo, Annika Johns, ABC4 News.